InnerQuest explores various pathways through which you can connect with the infinite wisdom of the universe and apply it to personal, professional, and spiritual growth. This program, featuring accomplished practitioners, educators, and authors, is provided by Infinity Foundation, an innovative center for holistic studies and research. We invite you to share this journey with us.
Hello, welcome to InnerQuest. My name is Jay Stone, your host for today, and our guests are Patricia Cordona. Welcome, Patricia.
Thank you.
And our other guest is Dr. Daniel J. Cardona. Welcome, Dr. Cardona.
Thank you.
You're both husband and wife.
That's right.
That's right.
All right. Well, let me tell the audience a little bit about you. Patricia has MS, APRN, BC, and Dr. Cordona is a psychiatrist, and together they co-founded the Cosmic Mysteries School. The Cordonas have studied and practiced sexual alchemy for 20 years. Their Mayan sexual alchemy teachers include Mayan elders, Native American elders, Peruvian, Japanese, and Chinese spiritual healers of traditional energy medicines. Now, Patricia, do you want to say anything else about your background as a nurse?
Well, I think that having a background as a nurse, really helps you understand and have to communicate with a lot of people who are sexual beings. And so having that background and comfortableness in that area with the human body and sexuality really is a beginning place for somebody who's interested in sexual alchemic practices.
Okay. Now, Dr. Cardona, do you want to mention a few words about your psychiatric practice?
Yes, my specialty is actually child psychiatry, but entering medicine started with a scientific background, chemistry, and then some research in the field of medicine. So my approach to sexual alchemy and some of the other things that we do has always been sort of a scientific approach. I had to have a deeper understanding before I could believe it, so to speak.
Well, and what most people are looking for when they're trying to find a mate is they say, well, I'm trying to find the right chemistry.
Yes.
See if they have the chemistry.
Exactly.
I ask you, Patricia, can you explain your Cosmic Mysteries School?
Absolutely, and sort of part of that explanation would be why and when did we start the Cosmic Mystery School? And the answer to that is in 1996 we met Mayan elder Hunbat's men, and he asked us to start a school and bring back the information in the United States that we were learning. And actually, one of the very first questions we ever asked him, I asked him, was about Mayan sexuality, because I had read in one of his books that they had sexual education, and I'd seen some incredible, just amazing pictures and glyphs in his book, which were from codexes that were specifically related to sexual education from the ancient times.
How many years ago were these pictures and glyphs from?
Thousands of years ago, really.
So it's a traditional, ancient healing practice.
Yes.
Dr. Cardona, do you want to add anything about your Cosmic Mysteries School?
Yeah, Patricia and I were visiting Mexico on our own in the Yucatan Peninsula to see the Mayan pyramids since about 1991.
Right.
And so we traveled nearly every year trying to learn as much as we could on our own. But it was with our meeting Hunbat's men, Mayan elder Hunbat's men in 1996, right, that our education really skyrocketed.
And how long have you been married?
We've been married since 1993.
So you started to investigate the ancient Mayan culture actually before you became legally an item.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Shortly after a meeting, as a matter of fact, I think within about a year of our meeting, we took our first trip to Mexico,
right,
which was a short little 4-day trip. We visited a couple of pyramids and got excited about them, and within a month took another trip back for a couple of weeks, and then rented a car and just traveled all around the Yucatan.
And have you ever taken any of your students to the Mayan culture?
Yes.
We love to do that because there is nothing like the energy at the sacred sites. And so, I mean, it's wonderful to teach people and to meditate and that kind of thing, but to really initiate them, you really have to use the energy that's present, from the cosmos and the earth that's stored in those incredible sacred sites. So being there, it just shifts your consciousness and your reality totally.
Okay, now I'm going to hold up some of the items you brought with you. For example, this female sex magic. You want to say a few words about this?
Well, sure. Female sex magic is so important because learning to do sexual alchemy, learning to work with the energies in your body and the energies between a couple is just so important and tremendous that it's really one of the things I came in here to teach. It's really what part of this lifetime is about.
Now, I've interviewed several practitioners on energy medicine. How about you take this question, Dr. Cardona?
Okay.
Explain energy medicine and how you use energy in your discipline.
Well, energy in the body is what runs our body. And as a matter of fact, I guess the easiest way to explain this is that our body is basically a magnet. And so we not only, in the very beginning, when the egg and spermatozoa met, there was an energetic reaction that occurred and sparked life. We continue to generate that life.
And would you say that it was the energy of the sperm and the ovum that were attracted to one another that created
the initial magnetism?
Yes.
Exactly, the initial magnetism. And so when, as we're in childhood, we have a certain amount of energy that is within our body. Now, if we take care of ourselves, we can hang on to that energy, and as long as we have that energy within our bodies and it's amplified in certain ways, we can live a nice long life. But that energy can be affected by what we think, what we come in contact with, the food that we eat,
stress, I would
the
assume.
stress. Yeah, all these negative things can weaken our energy field and then shorten our life. And if we have a drop in our energy field, it can lead to illness. Either in a certain part of our body or just generally. So what we have always been attracted to, as long as we've been in relationship, are those things that can really increase that energy. And one of the most powerful ways, and one of the most secret ways, has been the sexual alchemy. Mm-hmm. So it teaches not only to hang on to the energy, but actually amplify the energy.
And I assume that the male learns to share energy with the female in a positive way and vice versa.
Yes.
And
yes.
so the man and the woman, they help restore and rejuvenate and balance one another's energies.
Yes, exactly.
Totally.
Okay.
Totally.
Here's another, I'm going to hold up another one. Why don't you explain the male potency secrets?
Ultimately, Patricia and I are going to be teaching couples sexual alchemy, but it's important for the man to have enough sexual energy, as it were, to be able to do the work. And typically, men in our society will, instead of cultivate the energy, will waste a lot of it. Mm-hmm. So once they become in their 40s and 50s, if they're not careful, they end up having to use medicines for erectile dysfunction. So these exercises help men restore the energy so they're not destined to have to use medications. And once they have a nice strong potency, then they can do the work of sexual alchemy. Right. And also in this system, I teach men a number of ways that they can protect themselves so that they remain healthy. And it's really through the sexual energy that gives us not only our vitality, but our magnetism. So we've all run into people who have a charisma, and a main part of that charisma is the sexual energy.
Well, they call it, if it was a woman, it might be called the it girl.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's.
Patricia, do you want to add anything about the female sexual energy?
Yeah, I do, because one of the things that people don't realize is that initially, when a couple gets together, as you said, there's that intense attraction that draws them together, that magnetism. And then over time, what we see in our society a lot is that magnetism disappears, and in fact, disdain can grow between a couple.